It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay. Deep in the weeds with a boomerang.
So I told my guy Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Coming around every now and then just to tell you what I'm doing with my Roku. We are now available on radio.com for your podcasting pleasure. And that about covers just about everything now. It took a little while for a couple of people, but that's okay. We're all there. And so if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. The me part of it is this is a me show. I just explain what I do with the Roku. And there you can go from there. And you can take whatever info I have and take it wherever you want. If you want to do something with your Roku, you want to do what I do, that's fine. But if you want to do your Roku the way you want to do your Roku, that's the whole idea. I just tell you what I do so that you can learn how to do what you want to do. Maybe you get something and say, hey, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could watch Scooby-Doo 24/7, you know, hey. Or I said, yeah, everybody knows that jerk, you know, and stuff. So pass things along to me if you wish as well. It's me and my Roku podcast at gmail.com. Well, plenty of things to talk about. Some weird things going on that I'm not even sure I really want to discuss. New stuff going on, and plus a little deep in the weeds, let's say. Elective course, if you will. We'll get to that and more. So let's get started. Okay, kids. Well, there's a couple of things going on I heard over the internet, and I wasn't quite sure if it was just clickbait, but I heard more than once or twice, and I thought maybe I'll just discuss it here and see what's going on. Apparently, there are some people who are getting scammed about their Roku and getting charged or being asked to give information, and it just seems like, do we really have to discuss this in this day and age? But I guess let me just bring it up because it's the rule of the show is it's a me show, and so it's not happening to me, so I normally wouldn't discuss it. But once I first heard these things, well, you know, you talk about the Roku, why don't you talk about this type of thing? So I'm just going to bring it up just as a point of reference, so that way we can at least say we talked about it. The installation of the Roku is the easiest thing for me that I've ever had to go through. You get it, you hook it up to your internet, and you go. Everything should be done on the screen. There should be no reason to have to call anybody or do anything. Now, I understand the internet is different for everybody, and some people would rather talk to somebody and have them guide them through something than to do things over the internet, either through their phone or on the computer. However, this is really simple. That's why I recommend the Roku, is it's hook and go. So hook it up to your internet. You know, put in your Wi-Fi password or hook it up to an Ethernet cable or something along those lines, and then register with Roku online. If you try and go do a Google search and try and find a phone number for Roku, you may or you may not get it, and you may get information. So let's be clear. Once you get the Roku, once you've purchased the product, there is nothing then that you need from Roku. There's no monthly fee, there's no yearly fee, there's no activation charge. The only thing you're activating is that you register it with Roku, and then that's it. So hopefully this is just a clickbait kind of story to kind of maybe just smirch Roku from people from Amazon or something like that. I can't think of a reason on that. But just so you know, once you get the Roku, that's it. Now, you may have to purchase programming like PlayStation View or something like that, but that's totally separate from the actual Roku device. Once you get the Roku, you can then download the apps for free. And then if there's programming that you want extra, that's totally separate then. So hopefully we clear that up. You will not get scammed from Roku.
Hey, 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 hey.
Ooh. Okay, so One of the things about doing the show, we're going to get a little deep in the weeds here a little bit. So this would be, you have the required courses in college and all that stuff, and then there's elective, things you can just take for fun, like basket weaving or hair combing 101 or something like that. This is elective here. So I'm not saying you should skip ahead. This will be interesting. I promise. Anyway, to get a little deep in the weeds here of how I do things. When I go to someone's house and I talk about the Roku or something, I just don't randomly go to people's houses. It just comes up in discussion every now and then. I will just recommend certain things based on the information that they give me. I don't expect anyone to do exactly what I do. I provide on this show, once again, to just spark something in your brain that maybe you can take with you to your Roku and do with what you will with it. So I just spot out stuff. So I don't expect you to do exactly as I do. Like I say, I'm not going to tell you, do these top 10 things and number 4 will blow your mind. I don't do that. So to expect you to do exactly as I do and how I actually get programming and stuff like that. But I just feel that in transparency, just to bring it up to tell you how I do certain things the way I do. Like one of the things that comes up, like with PlayStation View or certain things or YouTube TV, is that I do things in the background, like survey sites and just different things that I do, side hustles, let's just say, settled around and all that stuff. So I can get gift cards and different, and I apply that to programming to get things on the Roku. So either survey sites or scratch offs or doing little odds and end jobs and stuff like that and get gift cards. So that way I can get a gift card and apply that to a Roku purchase. Like Boomerang, I just picked up Boomerang for a month, $5, and I had an $8. I had a bunch of spare coins lying around. Went to the Coinstar, got an iTunes gift card because then they don't charge you a fee. And then boom, you get Boomerang for a month. Did different things like that. In just a week, got $30 off my PlayStation View. That almost cut it in half. So if you're just new to the Roku and you're just trying to get started and you're trying to figure things out, I don't expect you to do all the things that I do to get these things. But I just think these are a valuable way. If you can look and search for ways to cut your costs on these things, not just cut the cord, cut cable, just look for special deals, look for free trials, different things, and there's gift cards available. And that's how I, deep into the weeds here, handle things in getting free programming for my Roku.
Yeah, girl. Ah, baby.
Okay, kids, that time once again. I hope I didn't, I know I was talking kind of fast there. I get excited when I talk about all the different things I get Roku programming. Now, I could, if you want to just say, hey, everybody, to get this programming, just everyone send me $1 a week, do a Patreon campaign or have a donation page or something like that. I could do that, and then that way I could try programming and all that stuff. Or I can do what I do, and just all I have to ask out of you is just to please check out archive.org. That's totally free. And you can check that out today, or you can make a donation to them if you wish. They are preserving the internet. One website at a time, podcasting, books, old movies, old TV shows, classic ones at that, black and white. Remember what that was? So check them out today, archive.org. Consider a donation to them because they're doing great work. Not only are they preserving the internet, they're trying to save as many 78 records as they can and digitize them. So check them out today and see what's going on over there and see how maybe you can help preserve the internet. Archive.org. Check them out today. All right. Well, last week I asked a philosophical question. Would you rather have one app that has all the programming all in one swoop and you just try and navigate and try and find everything there? Or do you want a multiple of apps with one login and you can just find yourself that way? And the answer is, like anything in life, yeah. Both. Why not? Have both. Isn't that the secret of the millionaire mind? If you want this or that, you say, yes, I want it all. I was going through the things now that I've had PlayStation View for a week, kind of sorting through things, and it's led to some new channels. It's just I like having PlayStation View, and they do have a DVR function, but it is sometimes hard to navigate through the guide and through the channels. And so just to have the login and be able to get all the apps that are available through there makes it, and sometimes you even get a little bonus programming by going through the apps with that login, I've noticed. Like Fox Sports Go, you get a little extra than you would from, say, YouTube TV or some of the other logins. So, and also with the ad-supported video on demand programs, I've noticed that there's a lot of redundancy on there. So it's easy to compress some of these channels into one and just realize that if you've got Roku channel, Tubi, and Pluto TV, you've pretty much got the free stuff covered. Zumo is fine. They're all fine. FilmRise, Stir, they're all fine, but once you go through them all, you realize that they're all just the same. I'm really enjoying Tubi. If you are a recovering Netflix person, this is like you just had to get away from Netflix for a while or something like that, it looks just like Netflix. Doesn't have all the things that Netflix has, granted, and it has commercials, but the interface is very similar, I've noticed. But some of the stations I've found just with my PlayStation login, I added Turner Classic Movies. Every now and then, a good old movie is fine to have around, especially if you're up late at night trying to watch a cat and make sure his cone of shame stays on. That's a helpful thing. One movie on there that's on there presently, highly recommend, is The Philadelphia Story. I know black and white movies kind of seems kind of old and cliche for some people, but just good entertainment and good actors doing good acting. It's a wonderful thing, and it's kind of based on a play, so you're kind of watching a Broadway play like right in front of you, and it's really well done. The Philadelphia Story with James Stewart, Cary Grant, and Katharine Hepburn, Ruth Hussey, and others. Football time coming around. I don't talk about sports. I'm trying to narrow things down, and I try and add things to categories. So I like to have my most watched apps on the top and the bottom, because with the Roku, you can just keep scrolling down. So I like to have my most watched apps on top and then on the bottom. And then I try to categorize things. Like I try and keep all the music channels together, the home shopping channels, the ad-free channel, the ad-supported channels. And now sports. I was always trying to figure out where I should place some of these things, but these are separate subscriptions on their own. So each major sport, so whether it be MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, all have channels on the Roku and are subscription based. Now with the NFL channel, you can use your PlayStation View login, or other ones, anything that covers the NFL network should have a login on there. Sling won't work on there. You would have to watch through the Sling app. So the NFL network then is on there, but if you also get NFL Game Pass for $99, which if you get Apple points, you can add on as well. You can get that through the one app as well. So I have the MLB TV, and I get that through T-Mobile. So that's another deep in the weeds little thing, a deal that you can look out for. And then I mentioned that I got Boomerang as a nostalgia play. Now that was separate. That was not a PlayStation View. It's on PlayStation View as an add-on. It's $10 more to get that and CNBC World and different programmings. As I bought my mic, I get excited when I talk about Boomerang. But that's a nostalgia play, and like I said, I had some extra coins lying in my car, went to the Coinstar, and got an iTunes gift card, and I got a month of Boomerang. And that way, binge to your heart's content, probably just an overnight, and then next month, move on to something else. So kind of keep things organized, and then also getting new channels through your logins. It's a fun time to enjoy your Roku, because I know I'm enjoying me and my Roku. Oh, ooh, hoo-hoo. All right. So, on this program, I do not like to talk about speculation. I don't like to talk about things that are coming up and all that stuff. And you can ask me, Pete, why didn't you talk about Disney Plus or other things? Well, it's not here yet, so I don't have it. It's not on my Roku, so I can't be me and my Roku for something that I don't have yet. However, when Disney announced on their conference call at their quarterly meeting, they announced that when Disney Plus launches November 12th, they will have a bundle of Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus for $12.99. I only had 3 little words to say. Sign me up. I'm all for it. I already have Hulu right now. It's one of my favorite subscription services. So much so that I drop Amazon and Netflix like a hat. Just boom. So when that was announced, I was like, whoa. ESPN Plus, I've tried it in the past. If you want Canadian football and MLS soccer and Italian soccer, I believe, there's other things on there too. I typically like sports, so on these other things of he said, she said, and I'm right, you're wrong type of program, I don't need extra programming for $5 on that. But if you like sports, and there'll be college football coming up and a lot of other different things, and hockey and a lot of those things, if it's part of a bundle, so look at this, $12.99, and the last Netflix I got, so because I wanted UHD, was $14.99. So 3 for the price of 1, and still $2 cheaper. 3 little words: sign me up. Plus, I can use a Hulu gift card toward it too. Then it'll pay for 2 months of it instead of having 4.5 months of just regular Hulu. So good deals to be had. I hope you enjoyed the program. If I talked way too fast, I got too excited about all these things, I got a little deep in the weeds. If you have questions, you can email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. I want to thank archive.org for their support. Please check them out. We love them so much, and by we, I mean me. You can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast. Please do, because it'll just come right to you then. It's the easiest thing in the world. But you can get it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker. For now, if we don't start getting things going on over there, come on, independent podcast people, get on board here. But we got great ones like Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, and Radio.com. We were on Dailymotion, but Dailymotion doesn't have a Roku channel, so we axed it. So YouTube, that's on there still. So follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. So ask your questions there as well if you wish. All right, that's all I got for you this time. I hope you enjoy you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll check in with you real soon.